let's move this guy out of the way. What up, King of Shadow? What's going on? I'm just working on a new video. This one has 4 powers in it, and I'm working on the 4th one currently. So I'm just getting this one ready for him to move. It's for a new video. It's for a new short. I'm working on a long form. I have a couple of them that I'm working on at the same time. But just definitely was a lot to juggle this month. So I am a little behind, just a little bit. All right, let me remove the arms. The eyes, I need to be looking downward. This power is going to be called 10 and 1. Anything that you physically destroy will come back 10 more. So like a weird roundabout way of cloning something. I'm trying to get into the challenge I've been finding with making these videos is doing something that's not conventional, that you've seen done to death, or at least if it is something common, taking a unique twist to it. That way it's just not the same old thing. So to try to showcase this, I think I'm gonna have him like crush an apple and 10 more appear. So that's gonna be, because I was thinking of something more crazy, like I have him destroy a car and 10 more. But I'm like, that would take more, because these animations, these videos aren't that long. So that would be a little more of a task. Why he look like a Madness Combat character? I don't know if that's a game or a series. I haven't seen that one. This is just a different variation. If you've seen any of the Superpower long videos, at the end when I have them fight, there are 4 different variations of my main character that are fighting, and this is one that the public never got to see it. We was gonna have a Dungeons and Dragons style game with me and a bunch of other animators, and it just never got to see the light of day. But I had designed a character for it, a version of me. So basically, if I crush an apple, 10 more beer, 10 more period. So anything you physically destroy, your power will create 10 more of it. So I'm gonna have him crush this apple. They're gonna appear out in front of him. So I'm gonna have him crush it, and then you're gonna see like 10 appear in front of his face, and he's gonna try to catch them all. So say like if I did destroy a car, 10 more would appear around me and dangerously drop out of the sky. So technically, you could do that as a form of trying to stop somebody. Someone running up on you, you destroy something, so it ends up just raining a bunch of them. I think I'm gonna have them immediately crush it. So, let's see. How do I want to hand? I wanted to go splat. That's why it's good to sketch out these things. If I just would have won it, I would be sitting here making the closed hand motion with my hands multiple times. So we're having do that, crush it, then open his arms to catch what's about to rain. Come on, come on, come on. Yeah, infinite, see? Infinite money glitch. There he goes. I always do these powers thinking like what's the most beneficial way it could help someone in our world. And I'm always kind of let down when I see the comments and no one like truly thought outside of the box. I usually see people just want to think of the most destructive thing that could just obliterate an opponent, but never. I'm like, well, if you got in our world, there wouldn't really be a bunch of other people you could fight. So what else are you gonna do with the power? Let's see, boom. Like if you essentially can't make money with it, and there's no crime to fight, like realistically, because then how are you gonna know about the crime and then be able to get there? So essentially, you're just powered for no reason. So the only other alternative is to make an income with it and somehow not get caught by the government. Art, I'm subscribing. What up? What up, Sean? Yeah, I figured I normally do these and I used to be super heavy on streaming what I was working on, but I'm so used to being quiet and not talking while doing it, unless I'm in a Discord or something. So, but I figured, hey, maybe there'd be interest in seeing this. So we're just gonna rough out these. What I think would it look like to do this power. And then in a second, I'll show you some of the other ones that I created for this video anyway. Because like there's not a lot of people in here. I'm not ruining the surprise if I showcase. Let's see. Let me go. So this one, animal hybrid, able to call upon animal body parts to use on your person. So basically, think like a chimera at will. So this one I call I think it was like Ignite Blossom or something like that. But basically, you can summon flowers that ignite. So you can summon them and then they burn up. This one I forgot the name. I gave it, but basically you can summon forth music notes that end up freezing people. Give me 1 sec. Okay, let's see. I'm always interested in seeing a fellow artist. Appreciate it. The main thing I started doing this so as a way to connect with other artists, but then when I got into more like the superpowered aspect of it, it became more like comics, anime, things of that nature. But I like using art to go over various things. Okay, so the apple's gonna appear, and then he's got to catch them. So boom. Roughly sketch this so you can get to the catch in motion. Well, could become a center. What do you mean become a center? Slap me with some context. What's going on, Ghostbusters? All right, I think. Sorry for yapping so much. Nah, you good. You good. That's the dope thing about being an artist and streaming. If it didn't happen, we'd just be sitting in silence. Let's see. I'm gonna have the arms extend a little bit because I want when the weight of the apple's falling. To actually show weight. All right, so let's. Oh, let me move that. That's an old arm. Okay, so let's do clean versions. Let's go ahead and draw these hands out, these arms. Then I'll do the apple. The apple will be its own separate layer. All right, and then I'm not gonna draw the apple in the same layer because since I'm gonna be using it for multiple things, and also exploding it and then bringing it back later. I'm gonna, oops, too big. I'm gonna think ahead and make it a separate layer. That way I can easily call upon it, easily bring it back. Let's see. It's like now I gotta kind of assume where the apple is and make my hand around it since it's gonna be on a separate layer. But we can use this. Let's mirror flip that. Boom, boom. And I'm thinking I'm gonna start this year. I'm gonna try to do more powers that get kind of crazy and physically need to be represented. Since before I kind of, since it was challenging when I started, Just had them be something that I could just stand there and do. But I want to get into like more crazy displays of powers. Like I'm starting to try to learn more VFX so I can actually showcase powers in a more legitimate way. Let's see, do that again. Especially since I notice I get requests to do things like omnipotence, omniscient, and I'm like, it's kind of hard to really show, which I think in an intriguing way, displays of that power. Okay. And I actually want to put some speed lines on this, show some. I'm really trying to put my all into this squeeze. Omnipotence is a really hard concept by itself. Yeah, yeah, and I get a lot of requests for powers that are clearly over the top, and it's a lot of people will have problems describing that in a way that could paint the picture, let alone trying to draw it and display, like fully display what it's capable of in a few seconds. So like I tend to stay away from those that just, if I have to struggle to think of a concept of how to make it to where anyone, especially if you don't watch anime, read comics, or just into that stuff, and since the majority of my viewers aren't in that demographic, then it's just like, okay, I'm just purposely picking something that's going to confuse people. Even though sometimes I like adding stuff that forces you to have to Google. Like I think on the last one, I said a bone exoskeleton that has the density of a hero shrew, and a lot of people was like, I don't even know what that is, and I was like, oh, then you're gonna have to hit the Google, my guy. Let's see, boom. So let's see, we can. Okay, we got two so far. The facts are, if you really don't do like anything you said just now, yeah, you're probably gonna be confused by half of the power that people are requesting. Yeah, see, I think people are giving me too much credit, thinking I could just figure out a way to display it, and I'm like, I'm not that guy. I'm not that articulate. I would love to be able to say there's a few powers like I read it, I'm like, oh, that's a dope power. Brain completely went blank. I could not think of a way to showcase it, and that's why a lot of times, like sometimes I'll even go to like random superpower generators, and they'll name things. It's just, I'm like, bro, it's so goofy of a power, but when you read the description, like I can't even see that. Or stuff when like I get probability manipulation suggested a lot, and it's not that you can't do that, it's just you have to really, I have to show something existing and then you altering it to really sell it. And I'm like, if I gotta do something that takes multiple steps and then I gotta write a mountain of text when I describe the power, I feel like I'm doing too much at that point. Where I can say laser vision, I can show you that in 2 seconds. Okay, I'm gonna have the apple splatter on a different layer, so I don't need to worry about fixing that. And I'm gonna do the apple splatter on another layer. I like doing little fragment details and stuff like that.
Just how time consuming it can be searching for royalty-free media.
Okay.
Always bad. We use artists on almost all of our.
So we're almost done with these arms. Then I'm actually more excited to do the apple. Let's lower this one too. There we go. And then I'm gonna do something when the apples fully stack up. I want to attempt to show the weight of it, of him holding it. Because yeah, it wouldn't be the heaviest thing in the world, but it definitely would. It's not like holding a few papers. It should have a little weight to it. Let's see. Make sure, oh yeah, make sure there's no gaps, so that way when I my paint bucket, oop. That's one thing I need to change up. When I work on these, I usually try to bang them out as quick as possible. Like I try not to take more than 2 hours when working on these. So I'll let the line art be sloppy. Like if you zoom in, you'll see mistakes. But I'm gonna try to do more. But I've just gotten so used to working as fast as possible. Especially with my attention span. I can't really sit on one idea for too long. Now I even have like I have so many animations I've never posted or uploaded because I look at them and now I don't care to finish them. People need to understand that artists don't always know what to draw because sometimes I'll be sitting down looking at a blank piece of paper, reading, ready to write or draw, and then my brain just goes blank. Bro, that's like I do a lot of client work, and people will be like, I'll get a client that tells me, "Oh, I wanna draw for this commercial," and they'll give me a character, and I'm like, "Okay, what do you want to do?" "Oh, well, you're the artist." I'm like, "Nah, I need direction. I need I'm like, this isn't my project. I'm not attached to it like you are. I need some guidance." And they said, "Nah, you got it. Just make it cool." And I'm like, "Bro, there's so many ways." There actually, I have a client that it's basically in the process. They need to fire me or they need to fix the problem. And if they do end up firing me, I'm gonna make an animated video about it because I would say the worst client I ever had. They would keep just saying the most vague things and then expecting me to just figure it out. And then they would get mad when I didn't get it right. And I'm like, you didn't paint a clear picture. So what do you want me to do? They're trying to basically hold me hostage right now and mess around and change the terms. But the problem is they haven't paid for like the last month of work I did. But everything, like I have screenshots, videos, and all these things showing that when I would ask a question, I'm like, I need clarification on this. This makes no sense. and they would say things like, "I told you I don't understand. I don't know what I'm saying." And I'm like, "Oh, okay. If that's the case, you can't hold me at fault for you not knowing how to communicate your idea." It's just like, well, I'm this long for you to do what I want. And I'm like, now, if I wasn't professional, I'd be like, I don't think you know what the hell you want. Let's see. So it's one of those things. I sometimes enjoy doing client stuff because it's usually a challenge to doing something that's outside of my norm. But there's other times there's some clients I'll get that make me just want to run back in the dungeon and never say I'm open to commissions again. Let's see. Take a step back. Let's see. All right, ready to make the catch. All right. Wait, did I do the? Oh wait, did I do the thumbs on the wrong? No, they're not outer. They're supposed to be in the outer part. Okay. I thought I did the thumbs on the wrong part of the hand. Let's do the fingers first, cause the thumb would come in front of it. So basically, the person thinks you can read minds. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They basically have made like ridiculous demands, had crazy expectations, and then would go off on me for not being able to see it. I even had to like there was one month, like the first month I signed on with this company and was drawing for them. I had to do revisions for a character design like 20 something times. And and some of them were versions that like she approved one of them and then like 2 weeks later wanted to revisit it and do it again and then but blame me for the fact that we still was working on it. And I'm like, I started screenshotting when she would say like, no, we need to change this, change that. And I'm like, bro, you're the reason. You're legitimate. The reason we're having to do this, and that wasn't good enough for her. So yeah, yeah, not the best of times. Today I was gonna draw and I legit just couldn't. My brain just went straight to blank. It sucks. I wasted like an hour and a half just drawing really bad doodles. Yeah, sometimes you gotta go through it. Like I have plenty of things where I couldn't form like a complete thought, and I just was messing around, and they're sitting in my folder. Like I legitimately I put like hours into it and created some, and sometimes I'll post them. 'Cause I'm like, I gotta post something, and I did put time into this. But there's other times like no one would see that. They would have to go through my archives upon my death because it just was such a waste of space and time and all that. And I'm like, man, I couldn't get nothing out, but I was so hyped and enthused to sit down and bust out something, and then just for it to be nothing. Okay, we got that. Let's color it up, and then we will add the apple. Yo, what up, Salim? She didn't get that she was the problem. Oh no, no. When I dropped this video for that, talking about this client, that thing's gonna be monumental. It may be one of my longest videos because I promise the craziness that happened in this job. Like I'm still technically there right now. I haven't been working because I said if I'm not getting paid, I'm not gonna slave. Um, but I've seen so it's not just with me because I thought it was just a me problem. I'm like so if you don't like me, it is what it is. But it's been multiple people. I've been there for a while, and I've seen bodies drop, like people get fired left and right. So it's proof that she's just that way, period. And everyone to her, she feels is incompetent and just can't put forth her vision. And that's from like the website department to, negotiations, social media interactions, to then to me to art. So all of us are just lacking in common sense. But it's like with me, she signed me on to use like not only my art ability, but my, I guess essentially my clout, um, to use my standing in the social media space and use it as leverage. So, but all the other people, like, so basically an ambassador, but the other ambassadors, she doesn't talk crazy to. And whatever they want to do, idea wise, she just says, okay. She's a yes man to them. So I'm like, I don't know why with me there's all this resistance. And I was like, just fire me at this point. So she does not want to, for some reason, doesn't want to let me go, and but she wants me to complete the stuff that we set out to do, but for now for no pay. Like she feels like what she's paid me in the past should cover it, and I'm like, nah, nah. She has this weird thing about revisions, thinking that um, if the revision's not her fault, then she shouldn't have to pay for it. And I'm like, technically, they're all your fault. Is if you give vague instructions or you give me a reference image, but then say not like that. I'm like, I am literally doing as I'm being told and as I'm instructed. So all revisions are essentially because of you. So she uh she can kiss the blackest. She didn't get this morning. No, this happened. This started. Okay, let me so a preview because I haven't sat down and made this video yet. But um, I get a monthly salary from this company to basically do all their art needs. So that's illustrate, animate, make things for the website, make things for packaging, essentially anything they need art wise, like outside of I don't do websites or nothing like that, but anything needs to be drawn. I am the guy for the company. They ended up so I get paid at the start at the end of the month. I send an invoice. So the first week of the next month is when I get paid. I submitted an invoice in November, no, December for November, and that's when she decided she wasn't gonna pay no more. So it's been since November that I've been off the payroll essentially, and she feels that she's been running a charity of continuing to pay me, even though she hasn't got what she wanted. So you're basically working for free. Oh no, no. The once I didn't get the invoice, once she didn't pay it, I stopped. I said, because she was talking about things for the next month, and she even said, like I said, hey, I didn't get my invoice that I sent. She said, oh, it should have been processed. And then she said, by the way, we need to talk about maybe changing the pay arrangements. And I said, we can discuss that for the next month, but I wouldn't feel comfortable doing that until we're squared away for the previous month. And no, she was like, I want to change the pay for the previous month. And I was like, you can't change or change the terms of pay for work that's already done. We agreed to at a certain price, and now you're trying to change it after the fact. And I said, nah, that's not how business works. I was like, that's not legal. We signed a contract, yada yada yada. And you would think if she was just done with me or fed up with me, she just would have been like, screw you, take me to court if you can. But she kept wasting time with these meetings and bringing in other departments and stuff and trying to say like, I feel what I got isn't worth what I paid. And I'm like, bro, she had unlimited access to me. That was like why I slowly wasn't paying. I mean, not paying. Slowly wasn't dropping as much content in here because she basically had like an exclusivity deal with me where she had access to me at all times. Um, but she didn't see the value of that. I was even managing other animators and dealing with the ambassadors that she would sign on. So other content creators. I'm like, it wasn't just me drawing. And even then, anytime she had an idea, she's like, I think we should use this animal as a mascot. And she like send me a reference picture. And then I would just draw it. So it was like, and this is all remote work, but it's essentially like she would keep coming to my office and saying, "Ooh, I think we should try this," and I would just draw it. Cause I'm like, I'm getting salary, so you have me, so use me. But then to say I don't feel like I'm getting my money's worth, and not, and mind you, let's see what's happening. Is this like a super speed effect? No, it's cloning. So guilt trip you to working for free. No, she learned early. I can't be guilt trip. You get a service, you pay for the service. She did huff and puff, and she even cried and yelled. And I'm like, I'm not the guy. You want sympathy? Go get a hippie. You're like, or go get your lover, because you ain't getting it from me. Yeah, you were managing other workers. Yeah, yeah. I was in meetings. I was going over other people's work. I was working on their work, correcting stuff. Even like ambassadors were sending audio files, and I ended up editing them because they was bad quality. So there was a bunch of things I was doing. The power that right now is called 10 for 1. Anything you destroy, it brings back 10 of them. So I'm using the example. I'm gonna smash an apple and make 10 more. Fire fit. Appreciate. So yeah, that was my latest experience with a bad client. But I was like, the money was good. It was consistent work. And even I told her, I said, if you're willing to pay me what you owe me, I'm willing to discuss a new contract and we can move forward. But like, I'm not doing none of this. She even tried to say to me because the thing she's mad about, we've been working on a trailer for the website for this company, which wasn't discussed in the original contract, which wasn't like a key factor. The thing I signed on for was to make content for their social media. This website piece is not even in a vertical format, so it wasn't a part of it. Um, I did a draft of this trailer. I started work in April. I gave like a draft in April, February. I think maybe May. I gave a draft of the trailer, and then she drastically changed it. I rewrote it because I told her I was like, well, first off, the script's not good. It was written by AI, and it didn't do it. She was gonna rewrite it, ended up not rewriting it, and then it was just badly written. A lot of stuff was trying to be covered in a minute, and this is supposed to be what the face of the company is. So it was a cluster. Like I wouldn't even share it on my accounts. That's how I didn't like it. Let's see, is this like energy manipulation? I guess in a sense you can call it that, because since it's manipulating the matter and energy of one object to then reproduce it and 9 more times, that could essentially be considered matter manipulation. So, see, it wasn't really that bad. Now the work situation, like people, and here's the thing, like all my meetings with them, the Discord and other animators I'm with, we let people sit in the corner for our meetings so they know essentially what to deal with, how to handle people, what you can expect. So um, we other people got to see too. So well, like I wasn't the only one witness to it, and it was just unrealistic expectations. And they saw her go off on me. They saw her blow up, be unreasonable, and you can even I don't know if I'll play the audio for some of those, but you see me try to be as calm as I can. And I would say by far, and I used to do just only freelance work. Like I used to take gigs from Craigslist, and that was like how I was surviving. Just working on that, and I had some really horrible clients through that process. But this by far, like I've never had no one that just even enraged me like that. I was becoming a crappy person to be around outside of the work. I can't imagine them doing good writing with how unstable it sounds. Yeah, nah. The bad thing is, because she's the CEO, she came up with the product technically, and the product's great. The product's actually good. I can see it like it was supposed to be in stores and shelves already. So it's a legitimate product. Just I feel in the hands of a narcissistic idiot. Yeah. And with your short temper, I can never work. Yeah, old me. I think it was like after a month of working there, we got into an argument where she was using words to describe something, and I kept telling her I don't understand because the words you're using don't work here. That's not what the definition is. And I was like, and then she explained it a different way, and I said, "Oh, that's the problem because you're using words to communicate that don't mean that." So I was like, for future reference, if we cannot use those words in this scenario because it doesn't apply. And then she told me I was out of line. What up, Eisen? I'm doing a superpower video and working on the last power for it. Even though it sounds like I may need a jump soon. Let's see. Let me squish this apple. So there we go. We get a little bit of a squeeze. So yeah, that's my current like that's why I've been able to do more vertical videos. I was trying to fix up stuff for like Instagram and all that because that's typically where I drop the most of my verticals. Um, like now that I kind of have this free time because she's taking her sweet time getting back to me as far as it's weird. I'm still on the site. I'm still there. They're still trying to use my stuff, but no one has like tried to talk to me as far as fixing this, seeing if there is a solution. We don't have an HR, so it's kind of like it is what it is. There is no, oh, well, this person will get a hold of it and just solve it. No one's able to talk sense into the person that's in charge, and unfortunately, like if the person that calls the shots is the unruly one, then what can you expect? Later, bye. Need to do some stuff. All right, for sure. Let's see. Boom. Okay, we got the apple bits flying. Really like doing the splatter stuff. By the way, I love all your superpower videos. They're so much fun. I appreciate it. I'm trying to do more. I'm still trying to wait and see if the adding the fights at the end, if if it has value or not. Because I do enjoy doing them, but they do take longer. They make the process so much longer, choreographing and then like going through and drawing all of it. But it's one of those things I like. See, boom. Drop my tablet. And dropped it again. My goodness. All right. Just want to have the splatter. Okay, so let's go ahead and Let's see. Let's get our apple color. Hey, why isn't it? Oh man. Okay, let's go fix the problem. Let's see. Where is the leak? Oh, found it. All right, then the only thing I have to do after this is make the apples fall. All right, so we need to draw an apple appearing now out of thin air. The fight scenes are the best. Appreciate it because I'm trying like the first two fights. I think I only done two so far. Um, I use references where I can. This one's taking longer because I'm trying to challenge myself. I probably should have waited, but I'm trying to do it completely from scratch. Let's see, boom. Especially since the powers for that video, I believe the next one is invulnerability, immortality, complete master of the elements, and then body swap teleportation. So that one is going to be a challenge since two of them essentially can't die. So it's like, how do you do a fight like an interesting one? That's what I don't like because I'm doing these videos. I'm doing the fights based off power sets already picked together. But when I first picked them, I didn't have the intention of making them fight each other. So they're doing this later, and I'm like, man, these are some awkward matchups. And I wouldn't have done that way if I had this plan from the get-go. How's he gonna attack with an apple? No, not attacking with the apple, but it makes it easy to show how the power works because you have to be able to destroy it. So, but you also can use it for quality of life. If you like Peter Parker, just be broke all the time, this would be the solution to how you feed yourself. Okay, so let me do that. Then the last frame is going to be the apple that we already made. We waste not here. If we can reuse it, we shall reuse it. Let's see. Where's my apple at? Okay. Say boom. We give it a little fall. I'm rotating it, but I'm gonna do a different layer where it actually does a fall motion. See, okay, let's color it. I think it's interesting about your videos is the fact that you actually put more effort to each video than the last one. Thank you. That's always been a thing with me, especially since being on social media with art. Is if I get feedback on the last one, because I don't make these, especially the long form videos. I don't make a bunch in advance. Usually after I post one, I start like writing the next one. So there's plenty of time for me to see the feedback that comes from it and then implement it in the next one. And I'm usually like, okay, if people don't like this part or this section, how can I either save it or sacrifice it? So it's literally me trying to workshop each one. So that's the thing is the best way to improve. I had to give a speech for TikTok, which was crazy because they had me give a speech like 3 days before the shutdown. And one of the questions someone asked was like, what do you think of failure? And I said, well, failure is your greatest teacher. Failure will show you how you can improve. It's like it's not something you should dread or be like mad about, or it's a failure is putting a spotlight on your mistakes and allowing you to use that spotlight to examine it so you can do better. How did you come up with the name Fictional Felle? Okay, so I have another account on here on YouTube. It's Felle Animated. Like that's what the name I go by on like Instagram, TikTok, and all that. But on that account, I did like a little bit of everything. There was not like one thing you can say you can go on that account for. I could do comedy videos. I did a lot of music related videos, and then that's where the superpower videos started. So, but I was just like, I would get DMs like, I only like coming to your page for this one thing, and I was like, I started to notice it was all the fictional content, like not the comedy stuff. Not I did story times on there too, um, and I was like, man, I felt bad, and I was like, I should make an account that's just for people this specific thing, so they don't have to sit and wonder when another video is coming out or watch the other ones that they didn't sign up for in the first place. So I was just like, I think I'm gonna do. I started announcing it. I was like, I'm gonna do something for the fictional content I make. And then I just kept saying that, and I was like, oh, fictional Felle, FF. And I was thinking like Fantastic Four. And see, boom. I think I'm gonna start having it from here. We're gonna have it drop now. We're gonna have gravity do its thing. Failure is truly your greatest teacher because when you fail, you realize what's the problem. Exactly. I tell people all the time, don't run from failure, and don't quit because of failure. That's why I think a lot of classrooms allow you to fail. Like when I did college for a little bit, and it I noticed they would keep setting up the programs to you would do it, and I felt it was a waste of time because they would set me up to fail. And I'm like, you had me learn a way that was wrong. That's how I viewed it. Let me turn off that. Boom. Okay, so now we got that. I'm gonna make that a symbol. So, oh, okay, my bad. I guess I got a voicemail that came through and it just shut my joint down. And said, "When are you gonna do a face reveal?" I've shown myself actually more than a few times, especially on Instagram. Sorry, you was buffering. A call came through, and I guess even though I didn't pick it up, and then with the voicemail, I guess it just still took away from from the stream somehow. That's new. I didn't even know was possible or a thing, but now I know. Maybe I'll put my joint on do not disturb next time. But yeah, when convention seasons happen, like VidCon and stuff like that, I usually go out and I'll end up taking pictures, especially with other people. There's been like followers that end up figuring out it's me, because sometimes I'll go in the red hoodie. I'll go there dressed the part. Like I call it being in uniform. And I'll talk to people and take pictures. Or if I meet like mutuals, we'll take pictures and I post it. I even had some on my account for a while. I know on my, especially my other account, it's just illustrations. Um, like one of my first pictures is me and like my brother-in-law. Okay, let's. So now we have that. We gotta think strategically. See, we're gonna drop another one. Do you have any rivals, like hatred rivals, but like playful rivals that you try to beat in competitions and art and stuff? And what's up, Saman? Salmon? I do. I consider any of my peers rivals. Usually, the people I hang with, I respect and consider them to be rivals. Like if you do the same thing as me, I'm all down for friendly competition, and we'll make a competition out of it. Like I have some people, I tell them, I'm not cool with the fact that you're doing better than me on this app, but I'm doing better than you this app. So I'm like, now you get my attention, you get my focus. So now I definitely, especially I don't know if y'all know any of the animators in the storytime community, especially the black ones. I'm cool with like Yo Yo 808, Stanley Animations, Devontae the One, and they're big. They're big, especially on YouTube. Uh, those guys definitely would consider them to be rivals. I feel it'd be cool if you did key manipulation up a power. I do for one of my next videos. I'm gonna get away from just the conventional powers itself and do the same format but with anime-based power systems. So funny enough, key is gonna be one of them. Wait, why did that not go all the way down? Hmm. Gotta move that apple down. So when you get in there, so I want to do, because I know just doing powers, it only applies to like an audience that like kind of cares about that thing, or just like invested in just thinking out loud about things that they can't typically go somewhere with their friends and talk about. Um, let's see, let's move that over. But I know with the anime powers, if I do that, that's a wider net. More people, it could ease. Like I'm trying to find a way to make it normal to discuss these topics. At least like in areas other people are like minded. Let's see. Now we gotta stop it from going all the way down. Yeah, I think the first one I'm doing is basically the powers of the big three, the power systems. Or I'm doing transformations. I apologize. I'm gonna do transformations first, and then I'm gonna do power systems. So it would be like key, chakra, spiritual pressure, and I forgot what the fourth one was. And then trying to give a feasible argument for why one would be better than the other. 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's have it up a little more. Ren and Nin. Yeah, definitely. I feel like I gotta bring up Nin. I like when it's such a complex power system. See, the apple went two. It went two down. Maybe. So that's 6. It makes 7. We're almost there. But you could consider making a comic or story in the future. It's funny that you say that. I currently have one I started using my character based off a video I did. I did like a year or two ago, and it's on Webtoons of all places. Um, it's called To Be Kind, and I did it. The premise was what happens when the future you goes in the past to confront your younger self to see if they are able to convince you to stop you from destroying the world. So you're a villain and you go back in the past and you talk to younger, pure you to see if not even you can convince yourself from stopping. And I was making headway on it. I think I did like maybe 6 or 7 chapters. But then I got approached to turn it into a TV show and it kind of paused it. And I just haven't picked it up since. I got back to being busy. Like it's kind of hard to maintain dropping animations and working on a web comic. I thought it would be doable since I was like, well, the comic should be less work. I didn't even count. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's see. Okay. Let's have this joint up high. Make sure they all fall right. All right, then one more. And then I'm gonna make the arms kind of shake and dip a bit each time each time an apple drops. So let's raise it up. The fourth one, hockey. I feel like I can't do Hakai or any of that because it's still based off a key. It's more of a move that's based in that system. Oh man, it stopped too high. Okay, so I need to think big brain. The first one touches the hand right there. Boom. We're gonna see if we can make this more believable. I'm gonna use the pen tool to anchor parts of this down. And after that, this animation will be done. I'll probably drop this today. It's early. I normally drop by 12, and it's only 9 right now. So I'm gonna boom. Okay, then I'm gonna do that each time. But then I have to have the apple kind of dip down too, so see, this is when you get into those details that's not necessary, but it definitely helps. Wait, that's the second apple. Where's that apple, and why does it not touch the hand? See, these are the things I try to look for. Like, he's at a big advantage because it's so much more than shooting lasers out of your hands. Yeah, see, that's the type of things I go over where people kind of discredit because they They're only going off of what they see it to do. Okay, so like key, have picking key gives you access to so many things, but you can say the same with Nin. Like that's I don't think people they go off like what does the main character do, and that's like the extent of it. Okay, so and then we make the hand go back up. See, this may not even be worth doing, and now that I'm like sitting here messing with this. Boom. What apples here? That one's there. Left up. Do you like gaming? Yeah, actually, right now I've been pretty addicted to Marvel Rivals. For me, it did kill Overwatch. Oops, hit the wrong key. Let's see. And then this. Okay. Boom. So let me. Where's the next apple drop? Boom. Let's see. But yeah, the games I used to play a variety of games, but as I got deeper into animating, it made it harder to like maintain a gaming schedule or at least give time to multiple games. Like even like my homies got me into Fortnite. I played no build, and I was playing like a crackhead for a while because it was a fun thing to do in between gaming. I mean, in between animating, and I feel like I can get a quick match in. Um, and then Rivals came out, and since I'm a comic book guy, and this is it's like a buffet for me. So that's been because I'm trying to like I'll stream playing Rivals on Twitch, and that's been the most joyful, but also the most invigorating. Like the biggest piss off. You playing games like Call of Duty. I used to play a lot of COD. Then I got really into Warzone. Um, I used to be like a Halo crackhead, but then just slowly grew out of them. Let's see. Okay, I think then we're gonna have the eyes raised up. All right, so I'm gonna put the head on a different level so I can move the head. I try to add as much little movement as I can, so it's not the most static thing. You see, the crazy thing going back to the client I was working for, they wanted to do collab posts with this series, with the Superpower series. And I was like, okay, I can just add it into what you're already paying me because I was like, that's my most successful series, and it gets the most views consistently, especially on Instagram. And Instagram, I could drop one of these and like get up to 1 million, or at least like at the bare minimum like 100K. So I'm like, you being attached to that will do good for the company. But then she started saying like, well, I would need to approve the videos. I'm like, what's there to approve? I don't do nothing controversial with these powers. Like it's the most tamest piece of content I have. And now like If you're gonna tell me how to do these videos, then no, we can't do that deal. Like the whole point of being an artist is being able to freely create as you see fit. So I want him to tilt his head down as he. Let's see. Now we gotta fix that. Maybe we should do the opposite and have him look up. Okay, and then have him put his head back. What is a garbage game in your opinion? A garbage game? Mm, I don't know, cause I feel like anything I've played, I've been fortunate enough to say it isn't a garbage game. I'm trying to think. Like I can't remember the last time I bought a game was just like so overly disappointed. Uh, I'm like, cause I used to play a lot of like Gears of War was fun for. Um, Dang, I'm really trying to think of a garbage game I played. Cause there's even games like I played. There was a beta release of Dragon Ball called Dragon Ball. There we go. I had to decline and block that one. I never played a top-down game before, and that was fun. So I would say I felt how Overwatch went in the end was garbage because they lied on what they was giving. So I'm more mad at games that lie, like Marvel vs. Capcom 2.5 or whatever they call it. That made me mad. That was garbage. Anytime someone sells you a complete game at full price and then try to charge you again for the things that was supposed to be in there the first time, automatically you get the garbage game label from me. Like it felt incomplete, knowing there was then to try to charge me almost full price for adding everything else in the second version. And me, the latest version of Marvel vs. Capcom doesn't have the same flair and love to it as the one before it. So for me, it just and like yeah, I got it because I was a diehard fan. I really enjoyed playing the game, especially in arcades. Um, to me, yeah, I was not enthused. So I guess I can consider that it's not a garbage game, but it definitely disappointed me. I realized you have Pomni in one of your shorts. Yeah, that was a ad for an app where you can talk to characters based on an AI system. So I went on there and asked them to suggest a superpower, and every power mentioned in that video is what the AI character suggested. Okay, I don't know if I should add a power effect. Key can also make you physically stronger, and it can be shaped into anything, whether it be a sword, entire Sasuno. Yes, that's one of the things I'm going over. I'm like, I think if I make a video, even though I'm not saying it like everyone's gonna see it, like I don't know how I was gonna do, but there's many things to consider. But I think any power is limited by the imagination of the user. So I think even people that view it, and that's why there's so many debates because people just can't see that far with it. Let's see. Yeah, Ella. I've done other stuff with Pomni. It's surprised I have another channel where that one was more like kid core content, like the indie games, and I did Pomni stuff before Pomni got a show on Netflix. Um, I did dance trends with her. I was an includer in this thing. I had this concept going where I had all the indie game characters and shows in this like massive tournament fighting. Uh, I think I called it interdimensional war, and I was about to add Pomni to it. So I had like uh, FNAF characters in it. I had Bendy. Um, who else? I think Parappa the Rapper. uh, girlfriend and boyfriend from Friday Night Funkin'. So, but I noticed when I was doing the kid course stuff, even though I wasn't targeting a kid, since it was labeled kid stuff, YouTube was not pushing it on my behalf. So I was just like, okay, I don't know if I can keep doing this, even though I enjoy it, if it's just not gonna get anything. All right, let me go back out. Oh crap, I didn't do the white of his eyes. Were you saying all powers are equal? No, I won't say that. There's some that just clear. There's no workaround for it, or there's only a few specific answers to it. So definitely not. But I feel all powers take extreme creativity to do something truly amazing with it. Like I when I did a video about the power reality warping, a lot of people were saying reality warping is boring. I would be bored immediately, and I said there's no way that you're getting bored. If you get bored immediately with reality warping, then it means you're boring. It means you are boring, not the power, because that's physically impossible. You literally can do anything you want, and if you're saying you're bored already, you don't want to do a lot of things. So it 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 boils down to that. That's why I like shows like My Hero that gives characters powers that on their own would be OP, but there's drawbacks to it. Like Todoroki with the half hot, half cold. You would be a straight menace with it, but there's a drawback. There's a consequence for overuse, unless you grow out of it, grow strong enough to not depend on it. So it's all. Even Midoriya is a great example of that. Uh, his main power destroys his limbs. So he has the power to be an absolute animal, but he faces drawbacks from using it. And he has to learn or creatively do it in a different way. That's what I mean, where all powers can uniquely be used outside of what is the obvious. Even the webcomic I'm doing, I don't say what my character's power is, but he uses it in such a way that you can't distinguish what exactly it is. It looks like so many different powers, and the ongoing thing is he must have all powers because it looks like on some level he has like low level abilities of everything. But it's only one power, but I'm using it in so many different ways you just can't tell at the end of the day. Say, what is the most powerful power you've had in anime? I think the one I've seen is I'll have to say Masoji. I don't remember the name of his anime, but it's all fiction. Where if he wants it or doesn't want it, it no longer it exists. Like I think even in a show, he removed all color. I think someone was about to do something to him that would have removed his eyesight because he has blue eyes. So to prevent that from happening, he just got rid of the color blue. So then the sky turned red and everything else. So essentially, but that's also it boils down again. It's as creative and as good of an imagination you have. So that that to me is it takes a creative writer. It takes a creative thinking to put that power. You see most animes, people get this crazy OP protagonist, and it's like, well, how's anyone gonna beat him? Whoa, why did he do that? Oh, okay. Let's fix it. Boom, boom. Uh-oh, I think it may crash. It may, yeah. Oh no, I think everything may crash. If it does, I was overdue to stop anyway. Hopefully I didn't lose too much. Oh my goodness, no, it froze. Well, you're about to witness a crash out. And that was the last part of the animation too. If I have to redo it, I don't know if I'll redo it. Ah, no. I don't even know what overloaded it. I don't think I have too many things open. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yep, guys. Oh, wait. Uh, okay, it's back. Whoo. Oh man. All right. All right. I'm gonna take that hint and save. Yeah, go ahead, call this to a close because clearly this file is way too heavy. But thank you for joining me for the stream. If you want, make sure you're subbed and have notifications on so you can see the next time I do it. I'm trying to get back into doing these more. Look for, I'll probably drop this today. I'm just gonna do the last bit of editing for it and then throw it up. And then I am working on the next long form video. But if you haven't peeped out the rest, you can check the playlist of all the superpower videos and you can let me know. Drop comments in there on what you would like to see, what you think should be added, what should be different, or just like, hey, if you hate it, let me know. I'm taking all those things into consideration every time I make the next one to try to improve and add to it. So you're not speaking into the void. I actually go through it. My team goes through it, and we are all striving to give a better product. So more things coming. I got like 3 videos in the works already. So long form's gonna be cranking up, and then short form as well. So until next time, thank y'all for hanging out.